Hi, this is my TR for this week, and I really didn't have a topic for this week, so I just wanted to talk about some particular things that I had on my mind about theology, basically, in terms of it. So, I have in my mind, I've realized today and over time that theology is a religion-based class that is about the Word of God, and it goes more complex into what it is based on and what it is, the understanding of it. And I feel like it is a class that you just don't sit there and you just wait for the bell to ring or just take notes and not study it or look at it or appreciate it, understand the meaning and the facts of it. I feel like this is a class that makes you think, and not just think by studying and looking at the notes and looking at the things that you give us in class. This is a class, and this is theology based on the Word of God and what it really means and how this makes sense to us and to make sense to me and my knowledge and how I appreciate and take on the meaning and understanding of the word and appreciate in the text and what they really have to say. And it's kind of a second, you have to have, I believe with God and with believing a Christian and a true believer and Christian, you have to believe when you hear these stories, is that really true? Is this really, do you think that really happened? Do you think this? Do you think that? And I feel like it's a class that you just have to take upon, and you have to be like, okay, I don't know, and then it's just like, some stories I have honestly looked at or heard of or read upon or about, and I'm like, is that really true? Is that really the Word of God and what it was? Because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't sometimes when you hear these stories. But then there's another part of me, the second part, that's like, you put the pieces together of the stories and what it's based on and what this means and how these mean and these symbols and these miracles and what these things lead to another and just how it's all based upon. And I feel like still today, even though the Bible has been published in the most popular book and it's been out for several thousands of years, and I believe that it's like these little signs and symbols and maybe miracles from time to time that people and saints today still have, that it leads up to one true thing. And even though all of these stories, turning wine into water, loaves of bread and fish into 3 pieces to thousands of pieces. It's just the stories like that really, it's kind of a second guess, or not a guess, but a thought. Is that really true? Is that really what I believe in? Is it just something that I'd like to understand and take on through in my mind? And it's like, one day I feel like I will understand, maybe in my time, probably not in my time, that Jesus will come down and from heaven and take us all. And I believe that for a long time now. And then I've just started to realize now that all these pieces and these symbols, and even the good ones and even the bad ones, they all have a meaning to it. And these stories and the scriptures and the text and just theology in general, it all has a meaning upon it and based upon it. And I feel like there's signs for everything, and there's things I've always learned And I always, because people have sayings that they, or quotes that they always try to relate to just in life or on a daily basis, or if they're having a bad day, that everything happens for a reason. And everything happens, and all these symbols happen, and these pieces we put together happen. And it just takes upon like one another. And it's like pieces and pieces and pieces. And I feel like now I understand it, and I do believe in all. And people are like, how is that possible? That's physically not possible. No one could do that. What is so special about this one man that's apparently God's son that could do that? It's just all these things. It's like, well, you have to know and understand the concept and believe truly on what God has to offer for us and what He truly says. And depends on what God has given us throughout our lifetime. And I also just believe that life is filled with opportunities. Life is not easy. There are going to be things and people and things that happen for a reason, and bad things that happen to you. And sometimes there isn't someone to talk to, or sometimes that friend won't be there, or sometimes someone's busy, or you just don't know who to talk to. And there's always God. God is always listening to you. And there are points in my life where it's just, I need someone to talk to. And then it's just like, sometimes I feel like if maybe someone's not listening to me, then I'm like, okay, I have God to talk to. And even though I feel like no one is there helping me or could understand what I'm going through, I know that God is listening, and I know that it will be okay because I have Him with me. Whatever I'm going through, it's just, I can just take a minute and just know and pray and believe that He is with me. And I feel like in my life that the good and the bad things happen. It's like pieces, the signs and symbols, and the people in my life, and the people that have left, or the people that have been brought upon into my atmosphere. It is like these pieces and these symbols, and the small things or the big things, and it all ends up somewhere. And maybe I won't realize this now, maybe in a month, maybe in a year, you never know. And I feel like it will be okay, and there's something always good at the end of the road. You just have to keep believing, and you have to keep knowing that God is there with you, because God is always the answer throughout the great, most best times of your life and the worst times of your life. Well, thank you for listening to my TR. I hope you have a great evening. Thank you.